In this video, let us solve some problems from exercise 5.1. Third problem I am solving here. Consider the two postulates given below. Given any two distinct points A and B, there exists a third point C which is between A and B. The second postulate is there exists at least 3 points that are not on the same line. Then in the question it is asked, do these postulates contain any undefined terms? Okay, so are these postulates consistent? Do they follow from Euclid's postulates? Let us see. There are various undefined terms here. If you see, there are so many terms that are not defined. For example, you might have distinct points, or there exists at least 3 points that are not on the same line. So there are some terms which are not explained. So the given postulates are consistent because they refer to two different situations. Okay, the situations are different here, and the postulates follow from the axiom. Okay, these postulates, they follow from the axiom. If you remember, one of the axioms was given two distinct points, there is a unique line passing through them. So it's about distinct points and a line passing through them. So these postulates, they follow from the axiom and they do not follow from the postulate. So they do not follow from the postulates. Now let us see the fourth question. If a point C lies between 2 points A and B such that AC is equal to BC, prove that AC is equal to half of AB. Also, explain this by drawing the figure. So it is given that there is a point C which lies between A and B. So let us take the line segment AB, and the point C lies between A and B. And also it is given that AC is equal to BC. You have to prove that AC is equal to half of AB. Now when we are proving this, in normally what we have been doing is we can directly show AB is AC plus BC and show or prove this. But now we have to use Euclid's postulates or axioms to prove. So let us see how we can do that. So we will start with what is given to us. It is given that AC is equal to BC. Now what I will do is I will add AC on both the sides. So here I am adding AC plus AC, and then the right hand side I get BC plus AC. Okay, equals are added on both the sides. Equals means this and this same things are added on both the sides. So here on the left hand side I have 2AC is equal to, right hand side is BC plus AC. Now what is BC plus AC? If you look at the figure, BC plus AC, when I take BC and AC, it is same as AB, correct? BC plus AC is the same as AB. So in Euclid's language, if you say BC plus AC coincides with AB, coincides means same as AB. Okay, so and things which coincide are equal to one another. This is another axiom that you had studied, that if the things that coincide, if two things coincide with each other, they have to be equal. Okay, so this coincides here. BC and AC, or BC plus AC coincides with AB. So BC plus AC is equal to AB. If two things coincide, then they are equal to one another. So since BC plus AC coincides with each other, with AB, BC plus AC is equal to AB. So from this I get here AC is equal to half of AB. So this is what we had to prove in the given question. Now let us solve another example which is similar to the fourth one. In the above figure, or in the above question, point C which is there is called a midpoint of line segment AB. Okay, it lies between A and B, so C is called the midpoint of the line segment AB. Now you have to prove that every line segment has one and only one midpoint. So if you have a line segment, you have to show that this line segment will have only one midpoint and not more than that. Now for you it may seem to be very obvious, but now let us see how we can show this using some of the Euclid's postulates and axioms. So what we will do is we will prove this by the method of contradiction. Now it is said there is one and only one midpoint. So let us assume, okay, that there are two midpoints for line segment AB. So which are the two midpoints? C and D. So let C and D be two midpoints of line segment AB. Now since C is the midpoint of AB, you know that if it is a midpoint, then AC will be equal to CB, right? If C is a midpoint, then AC is equal to CB, right? So since C is a midpoint, AC is equal to CB. Now equals are added on both the sides. So you will get here AC plus AC is equal to CB plus AC. So this is 2AC. So 2AC is equal to CB plus AC is what? CB plus AC coincides with AB, so it is equal. So CB plus AC is AB. Let us number this equation as 1. So now this I have got by taking C as the midpoint. What if I take D as the midpoint? Similarly, if D is the midpoint of AB, then I will get here, this is 2AC, right? So since D is the midpoint, it will be 2AD is equal to AB. Let us number this equation 2. Now from 1 and 2, 2AC is equal to AB and 2AD is also equal to AB. So what I can say, AB is 2AD and AB is 2AC. So 2AC will be equal to 2AD. This is because of the axiom, things equal to the same things are equal. So this is the axiom we are using here. Then from this I get AC is equal to AD. How do I get this? Now if you see, you'll say I can cancel these two numbers and I can get this. But if you want to tell or give reasons with respect to Euclid's axioms, then it will be things which are double of the same things are equal to one another. That is the axiom we use here and get AC is equal to AD. This is what we had, okay, this is what we get. Now AC is equal to AB. If you look at the figure, it says AC is equal to AD. Okay, AC is equal to AD. Now if you see here, this means C is equal to D, right? This is only possible when C and D are the same points. Only when C and D are the same points, then it is possible. So our assumptions that there are two distinct midpoints is false. So there can be only one midpoint of a given line segment. Now let us solve another example. In the following figure, if AC is equal to BD, then prove that AB is equal to CD. So in the figure it is given that AC is equal to BD. This length is equal to BD. You have to prove that AB is equal to CD. So first let us write down what is given to us. It is given that AC is equal to BD. So what you have to prove? AB is equal to CD. Now from the figure, if you see, just take AC. What is AC? Now why I am taking AC is because I know this is given. So let us see if we can write this in any other form. Now AC, if I take, is AB plus BC, right? So AC is AB plus BC. Let us number this equation as 1. What is BD? BD is BC plus CD. So BD is BC plus CD. Number this equation as 2. Now in the figure or in the question it is given AC is equal to BD. So since AC is equal to BD, I can write BD. Okay, I can write here instead of AC, I can write this as BD, correct? So BD will be equal to AB plus BC. Now I'm substituting for AC as BD because they are equal. So I get BD is equal to AB plus BC. Now from 2 and 3, BD is equal to this as well as BD is equal to this. So which axiom when we are using here? Things which are equal to the same things are equal to one another. So BD is this equal to this as well as BD is equal to this. So BC plus CD should be equal to AB plus BC. So this is what I get. Now I subtract BC on both the sides. If I subtract BC on both the sides, I get BC plus CD minus BC is equal to AB plus BC minus BC. This is when equals are subtracted from equals, remainders are also equal. So if I subtract the same things from both the sides, then whatever is remaining, they are also equal. So I am using this axiom. So what I get here is CD is remaining and here AB is remaining. So these two also should be equal. So CD is equal to AB. This is what we had to prove. So in normally you will see that you don't have to justify the steps this way, but since we have to use Euclid's postulates and axioms to prove what is given to you, the justifications that we use for each step will be different from what we have been using. Okay, that is the only difference. Otherwise, rest of the steps it's very obvious for you and you can solve it. So these are some of the examples based on the axioms and postulates that we had studied. Okay, so these are some of the very basic examples.